Coming to you live from the Black Goat 39 studios, this is the Guru Talking Sports Podcast. Now, here's your host, the Guru of Sports. Hello, sports fans. A little bit of a new introduction is there. How are you? Great to be with you. Hello, sports fans. It is I, the Guru, Talking Sports Podcast, episode 57. A great Sunday morning to you. I am here. I am a little bit under the weather, battling these doggone sinuses. But I just wanted to say thank you guys. And that was a great introductions put together by only the one, the only, the great Ray Guru. He put that one together. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, now, I ain't got much to talk about today. I just want to tell you guys that I did watch the 4 games that were on Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. And let me tell you one thing, this March Madness stuff is, this has got to be the best NCAA tournament I've ever seen. So many upsets, so many things that were going on. But, I want to make sure that I've mentioned this. This is the best NCAA tournament there is. Shockers, upsets, everything. Anything that you wanted in a basic whole tournament, this is basically it. This is it. This is one of the greatest tournaments I ever seen. Once again, I'll say that. But I just want to break it down for you a little bit before I go into what I want to talk about is that thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, if you can bear with me a little bit, I'm a little bit under it because of these doggone allergies. This is the time of the year where everything starts to, spring is coming and it blooms up, and next thing you know, all these ragweeds and all these other things, they get to taking over us. And, spring is pretty. I love spring. I love summertime. Summertime is like my favorite. I'll say if I had to rank the seasons, it would be summertime, spring, autumn, and winter. I hate winter. It's too cold out there, and believe me, I still have California blood, and I'm still trying to adjust to this East Coast weather. I can't get into it. I don't know why, but it just seems like every time I try to deal with the cold gets me, and the cold wins all the time. But give me some California weather, give me some sun and some beaches, and me running around and tank top or, whatever. I don't know. A basketball jersey, I'll walk around with that on. Now, I don't have my Hank Aaron jersey on today. Only because I do have my my Syracuse hoodie on. in memory of my Syracuse Orange that went down. And you guys know that I like Syracuse, I like Georgetown, I like Maryland, I like some of these teams that are still in there. Only got like a couple. I love UCLA. I love UCLA. Ever since I went to the campus and I met the coaches, and I think like I said, it's one of the greatest programs of all time. I got like I said, rooting for UCLA. I'm rooting for Florida State now. I'm rooting for Oregon State. Oregon State is really funny because they pulled that upset, and basically Loyola didn't. They just couldn't do what they had to do. But Loyola goes out, and like I said, I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But as I always do, I always try to give you a little insight of what the guru is thinking about or doing. Like I said, I got a couple things I want to talk about a little bit later. But the main thing that I want to get to, and I'm going to get to this after we talk about the NCAA tournament, is what the hell is going on with the Philadelphia Eagles? And see, I gotta ask you Philadelphia people something. You Eagle fans, now level with me. What the hell is going on with your franchise? I'm not gonna go into it right now because that is a whole different subject, whole different topic. And like I said, I just don't want to get into it now. I do want to talk about the NCAA tournament, and this tournament has been, amazing. Okay, let's talk about these games that went on yesterday. Now, it was only 4 games on yesterday. I got a chance to watch all of them. I got a chance to catch a couple good finishes and some iffy calls and all the stuff that goes along with a normal basketball game. Now, Oregon State surprised me because I didn't know Oregon State was that tall, that lanky, that good. And to tell you the truth, they won the Pac-12 title. They won the title, and then they that's their only chance. They were picked last in their division, and now they're on the doorstep of going to the Final Four. They're right there. I mean, can anyone explain this? Most of the time, like I said, if you see teams like this, they get hot at the right time. And when you get hot at the right time, that's the time that you'll pick up the momentum going into the NCAA tournament. Now, like I was saying before, is that this team got really hot and, went through the tournament, and they still haven't lost yet. But Loyola, we all knew about Sister Jean and everything, and, sorry that it didn't work out this time, Sister Jean. But Loyola wasn't really a shock to anybody. They got some really good players there. Like I said, they got some really good players. And you look at it this way. Now, you got the biggest cities in the United States: New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, Boston, Miami, Dallas. All these parts of the country, the local colleges usually recruit from them. Now, Loyola is in Chicago. Now, Chicago, they have to deal with, mostly the players leaving out of Chicago going into these other big-time programs. Like I said, you're in Chicago, you got Illinois there. They can go down to Illinois, Champaign, and pick up, a scholarship or so down there. They're not too far from Wisconsin. They're not too far from Ohio State. They're not too far from Purdue. They're not too far from Michigan, University of Michigan, which, I'm not getting into them later. Michigan State, they can go anywhere. Iowa, anywhere. Even further out. They can go down to, Miami to play for Florida State. They can, wherever. But the thing about it is that Loyola has probably gotten most of the guys that in Chicago that didn't want to go to these bigger schools. So you figure you got some good players in Chicago. Like I said, you look on a playground anywhere in these big cities, you'll find some pro players. Definitely will. You know, like Rucker Park. If you ever been up to Rucker Park, you know you see pros up there all the time. You know, the pros that are in the pros, but then again, you see some guys playing pickup basketball on the courts that are really good. You know? So Loyola Chicago, you know, they had a good run. But to tell you the truth, they're not really sneaking up on anybody right now. They are a good program. And we're not going to call them a mid-major. We're going to call them, you know, like it is, Loyola Chicago. They're pretty good. They're really good. But they fell to Oregon State. And like I said, the Oregon State program has been really, really undermanned and kind of disrespected. Because like I said, if they was picked last to win in their conference, and now they're in the, you know, grade 8, somebody must have made a mistake. But, you know, like I said, we all sleep on the West Coast in basketball. I don't, because I know about the West Coast in basketball. I haven't lived out there. I know that UCLA is really good. You know, and then there's times where Arizona was good. Washington was good. You know, and I know about these teams out there. I definitely do. And believe me, when they had 4 teams appear in the final Sweet 16, it wasn't no big deal to me. Because the thing is that, hey, I knew it. I knew how good these programs are out there. Arizona, before they got in all that trouble, remember they used to have Lute Olson. Lute Olson used to bring them into the tournament all the time. You know, Arizona State wasn't that good, but they had pretty good players that come out of there. Ask James Harden. James Harden is the Arizona State guy. Washington. Washington was always a good basketball team. They had pretty good players. Washington State, nah, not so much, but, you know, Stanford, Cal, UCLA, USC. USC right now is in the Sweet 16, along with UCLA, Oregon, and Oregon State. Hey, like I said, the West Coast is no joke when it comes to basketball. Remember years ago when they had the Loyola Marymount, Hank Gathers, Bo Kimball, all those guys. Tell you something, you know, Gonzaga right now is, you know, really good team from out west. They're not a mid-major. They're not sneaking up on nobody. They're prohibitive favorites to win this whole thing. But again, the West Coast, I know about the West Coast basketball, you know, and how they get down. Definitely do. Speaking from experience, like I said, they are good. San Diego State has a pretty good team. You know, you had UCSB that was in the tournament this year. You know, look at all the California teams and all the West Coast teams that were in there. You know, Colorado technically not West Coast, but, you know, Rocky Mountains, and they're still pretty good too. You know, they was up there in the conference race with Oregon State. You know, like I said, West Coast is not a joke when it comes to basketball. But then again, if it comes down to it, I still like New York, Rutgers, all the guys from that area. Because then, if you talk about the New York area, you got St. John's, you got, you know, Columbia, yeah, all these teams on the East Coast that, you know, Syracuse, you know, Buffalo, University of Buffalo, they were in the tournament this year. So, you know, you got all these teams that are pretty decent all over the country, you know. All right, Baylor beat Villanova, which I didn't have no problem with because I knew Villanova wasn't going to hang with Baylor. Baylor is tall and lanky, and they're really good. Scott Drew has got them playing really good. And you know what? I like Baylor. I really like Baylor's program. They're pretty good. Oral Roberts went down to Arkansas, and Arkansas, Eric Musselman's team is really, really good. I didn't see them play this year until yesterday. They look very good. They were down. They came back to rally to get the lead. Had a lead about like maybe 4 or 6 points, and they held on to a 72-70 win, which isn't bad. Syracuse. Now I like Syracuse. I always like Jim Boeheim. His son, Buddy Boeheim, played pretty good. Just wasn't able to get hot like he was throughout the whole tournament. In those first couple of games that they won, they went down to Houston. Calvin Sampson's team is very, very good. I haven't seen a Houston team play like this, not since they went to the finals back with Phi Slammer Jammer. These guys are good. They beat Syracuse and held them to their lowest point total in a long, long time. Their previous low was 51 points. They scored 46 last night, and they didn't look good. It was going to be everybody had Houston to win this game. I took Syracuse, but I knew that in the end, Houston would probably prevail. All right. Now, you got games going on today. This is Sunday. What is this? I can't remember the date. I'll tell you the truth, it's Sunday. Sunday, March 28th. Yeah, I meant to say that. March 28th. Like I said, this is episode 54, or I'm sorry, 57. I tell you, these allergies are really kicking my butt. So I don't know what's going on. This is episode 57 of the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast, once again. Now, let's go on to today's games. You got Creighton versus Oregon. Gonzaga. I like Gonzaga in that game. Florida State versus Michigan. I like Florida State in that game. UCLA versus Alabama. I like, I ain't going to pick against UCLA. I like them. They've been playing pretty good now. Now, you got to remember, they done played, 4 games already. Or, they had to play the play-in game. They had to play the other 2 games. And, this will be their 4th game. So, they had to win a lot of games. 3 games in 5 days or something like that. Oregon and UCLA, USC is going to be a really good matchup. Like I said, I really like USC. USC is very, very good defensively. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I had to cough a little bit. But anyway, USC is going to win that game. All right. Now, I do want to get into talking about the Philadelphia Eagles. Boy, I tell you, I don't know who in the hell running this organization or what the hell they doing. San Francisco and Miami made a trade a couple days ago. Now, San Francisco jumped up to the 12th spot to get probably another quarterback because I don't think that Jimmy G is going to be lasting long in San Francisco. But you never know. They might have went up that high to get the best wide receiver in this draft. But now you got Miami falling back to number 12. Now you got Philadelphia. I don't know why they did this. But they were at number 6 because, that controversial game against the Giants, the last game of the season where Philadelphia beat the Giants 34-17, and they said that they wanted to, or they wanted to lose. I don't remember. This whole thing is confusing to me. They lost the game, or they won the game because they wanted to see Nate Sudfeld play and then Jalen Hurts and all that. I mean, this is like the most confusing thing I can think of. But the worst thing, the worst confusing thing that I seen the other day was Philadelphia wanted the sixth pick. They were happy with the sixth pick. Now they're going to take the sixth pick and probably bring in another great wide receiver, but they ended up trading with the Dolphins and they moved back from 6th to 12th. 6th to 12th. Now, if they would have lost the game or won that game or whatever they did, they would have won. They would have had the ninth pick. Do you get where I know it's confusing. Believe me, I'm really confused trying to explain this stuff. But if you have the sixth pick and you're trying to build, you got a quarterback, you brought in Joe Flacco to back up Jalen Hurts. Now, where is the logic of all this to where you're going to move backwards and risk not getting one of the top receivers? You trade with Miami, you trade them, and Miami only had the 12th pick for about like 5 minutes, and give that 12th pick to the Eagles, and they took the 6th pick. So now Miami is even better off. They only moved down 3 positions if you look at it. If you look at the whole conception of this, or, a whole thing of this. So I'm trying to figure out, why did the Eagles move from 6th to 12th when they already had the 9th pick if they would have just stayed, if they did what they were supposed to do? Lose. Y'all figure, you got somebody figure this out for me, because I don't understand this. Yeah, you wanted the 6th pick. You were happy with the 6th pick. Now you trade back with Miami, who had the 12th pick for about like 2 minutes, and you said, oh yeah, I'll jump on the 12th pick. I'll take the 12th pick. I know there's draft picks involved with this. I understand that. This might turn out to be a first-round draft pick. That might be first-round draft picks in it. But look, I don't understand why you just didn't take the 9th pick or the 6th pick. That's 3 spots there. You could have had that pick at 6th or 9th, but I guess you wanted to get more draft picks. If that's the whole concept of what was going on here. San Francisco made out. San Francisco, I think, is the one that made out in this whole deal. They jumped from 12 all the way up to 3. So that means that they're either going to pick a quarterback for Jimmy G, or they're going to take one of these wide receivers, these outstanding wide receivers in this draft. I don't know, maybe Waddle, maybe the Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know. Somebody, one of those good wide receivers is going. Looks like the Jets are going to go ahead and pick Daniel Jones or whoever, Matt Jones, or whoever the guy is from Alabama. Guru don't remember names good. Don't even start with the Guru with that. So I think that they're going to pick up a quarterback. Now at 3, like I said, it's going to be interesting because, you had Miami at 3. They moved back to 12, and now they're at 6. I don't know. Please, you guys, somebody explain this to me, because this was the damnedest thing I've seen all in any sport with draft picks and all like that. I remember teams moving up to get, moving up to number 1 because they wanted the quarterback. And I understand teams that can fall back to, 6, 7, 12 or 8 places or whatever. But if you got the 6th pick, and you should have had, between 6 and 9, and then you fall back to get 12, It's probably only because of draft picks. I don't know. Y'all explain that to me. Get with me. In a couple weeks, I'm going to give you guys a phone number where you can leave me voice messages and tell me what the hell's going on with this Eagle team, this franchise, because they look more pathetic. I thought Houston was in a bad place. Philadelphia is right behind them, or right in front of them, or whatever they're doing. I don't know what the hell they're doing. All right, now, I think, baseball season is starting on Thursday, right? Now, I usually don't make predictions. I used to make predictions all the time on who the guru likes or whatever. Okay, I can say this right now. The Toronto Blue Jays will win the East. Yes, the Toronto Blue Jays will win the East. The San Diego Padres will win the West. But the Dodgers are going to be right there. I like the Padres. I like the Dodgers. I like the Blue Jays. I like the Braves. I like the Cardinals. I like the White Sox. I like the A's. All these teams are going to be very, very good and fun to watch this year. Matter of fact, I haven't even got my baseball thing from MLB yet. I have to probably get that probably in the next week or so. Probably by Friday. I'll probably get it. But like I said, baseball season is coming. And to tell you the truth, this is the first time in probably about maybe 2 years I really got excited about baseball season. Only because it's starting on time. And like I said, most of the stuff that we're seeing right now is going back to normal. Instead of, the baseball season starting in August or September or something like that. And then they play like 60 games or so. I know that they're going to be shortened this year. They're not going to play a whole full 162. But the thing about it is that we're still going to get a great amount of baseball. And yes, like I said, I'm a Blue Jay fan. I'm a Dodger fan. Padre fan. Oriole fan. I like all these teams. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I like. I like sports in general. I love sports. This is what I do. This is what makes me a good sportsman, because I love sports. It doesn't matter what the sport is. Hockey, basketball, baseball, college football, college basketball, women's basketball, WNBA. I love sports. Now, all right, like I said, we talked about that. The last thing, a couple things I want to mention is that, I did hear about the shootings. And like I told you before, this is not a political show. But the thing about it is that we have to get together as a society and learn how to love one another, no matter how it is. I know a lot of Asian people have been getting a lot of rap for, the coronavirus and, go back to your country and all that stuff. It's not the way you do it, people. It's not the way you do it. You do it through love. You do it through talking to people. You don't do it through trying to, make someone else feel bad, just to make your own self look good. It's not the way. It's not the way, people. Asian Americans have been getting discriminated against for years. Coming from me, I'm a black man in America. I understand how it is. But then again, I don't know how it is to be Asian. I just know how it is to be a human being. I love people. People are my thing. Now, you can be like my wife and not like nobody. She hates people, period. She does. She can tolerate me, only because I make her laugh, and she makes me crazy. I just said to myself the other day, how is it that how I'm really clumsy? I don't understand this. How did I get so clumsy? Well, it's because I have a wife that makes me clumsy, or that gets on me a lot, or whatever. But like I said, not trying to make any jokes about this or whatever, but this has been a serious problem, and I noticed that it's been on the rise. Just like the mass shootings, we had 2,805 mass shootings since 2014. It's not the way to go, people. Cities like Atlanta, Boulder, Philly, Orlando, Sandy Brook, all these mass shootings got to stop. I'm not a politician. I can't tell them what to do about these gun laws. But the thing about it is that it's got to stop. We got to learn how to live with each other. I love all people. It doesn't matter where you're from or where you're at, where you're from, whatever background you have. It doesn't matter to me. I love people. Just remember, like I said, I love people. My wife don't. The guru loves you. Miss Guru doesn't. Let's just put it that way. But like I said before, we got to stop this stuff. We got to stop this stuff, and we really got to sit down and talk to one another. And talk to one another in a good sense. And try to do the right thing. All right. That was my PSA, public speech announcement, service announcement. But like I said, just try to live with each other and try to tolerate each other. Believe me, I tolerate a woman that, very frankly, gets on my nerves all the time. But I tolerate her. All right. Now, I do have to play Taps. Taps is for Mr. Elgin Baylor. We lost his legend this week. One of the greatest basketball players of all time. Start Taps music. Elgin Baylor was 86. He played for the Lakers, and he was basically the first superstar in the NBA. He was the first player to average 20 points and 20 rebounds, or double figures in rebounds and points. And he was a superstar. He did play in Minneapolis, and he played in Los Angeles with the Lakers. First black general manager in the NBA. He was a great player. He was subpar GM. There was a time where they had to remind him that the draft was going on, and like another radio show that I listened to, they were the host was telling them, call up Elgin Baylor, and they gave him the number, and they called up Elgin Baylor and said, hey Elgin, the draft is going on today. Don't forget. I thought it was funny, but rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. Big props and rest in peace to Elgin Baylor. All right, if you can hear me, I'm still trying to deal with these sinuses. All right, folks, that's the show. That's the podcast for this week. And like I told you guys, I'll be back next week. First of all, let me give you the particulars. You can find me at The Guru of Sports Show on YouTube. Facebook, Guru's Daily Shorts. I'm El Briscoe on Facebook. Check me out. IG, I'm at The Guru OS39 and at Guru's Kids DAE. Daisy, who is in heaven, Alex and Ellie, my 3 dogs. I love my 3 dogs. Like I told you, Miss Guru, she likes the 3 dogs too, but she hates people. And Guru is not like that. Guru loves people. You can Gmail me at Guru's Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Check it out. Guru's Daily Shorts at gmail.com. Twitter, I'm on Goat39 on Twitter. And Goaty, dude, did you ever find your ear? I think you didn't. He's at BlackGoat39 on Twitter. Podcast outlets, we're getting up there. We have so many now. I can't even name them all, but the main one is that you go to Amazon and you know who Alexa. I have to spell it out because if not, she will actually turn on in the background. iTunes, Apple iTunes, Spreaker is the main vessel that we come off of. All right, I got to give big props and salutations to Mr. Jeff Duarte at Cali Sports News. I hope everything's well, Jeff. I'm going to check up on you today. Damon Adams, the real deal with DA, with Damon Adams. He is the man. Appreciate you. Miss Mary Mack. Ask Mary Mack. Her podcast is about grieving. And believe me, I've been very much in touch with her podcast because I've had a lot of grieving and a lot of stuff going on. So it's always good to hear her podcast. She's a really good friend, and I really appreciate her contributions to me and to my podcast. And I thank her for her podcast, for the inspiration of what she's done to help me get over a lot of different things. And believe me, we all need help. And that's why I promote her and thank her for every single episode that she puts out. And I know she's vice versa. She does the same for me as well. My hip-hop brothers, and respect to them because, like I said, I am a big hip-hop guy, and it is an honor and a pleasure to know these guys because these guys are legends, and we have to treat them as such. And like I said, hip-hop has a very, very big influence and big standing here on this podcast. If they ever need anything, if they ever reach out to me, I try to help them out as much as I can. I definitely will do anything. I'll go through a brick wall for these guys because they're the legends and they made it the game what it is today. Danny Rivera, big props to you. Big props to you, my brother Jeff Shepard. We're still going to grab some time, believe me. Happy the Original Pioneer, big props to you. Reggie Reg, King Charlie Prince, Positive K, and my main man, Cool Kyle Star Child. We're going to get together. I feel a little bit better today, and it's not the COVID, believe me. I don't think it's the COVID. I got my COVID shot, y'all, a couple weeks ago. So I know it ain't the COVID. I'm just hopefully these allergies are just kicking my butt. All right, my crew, Caden Guru, executive producer, board op, he's not here. He'll be back in a couple weeks because he's going to spend Easter with his family over there. He'll spend a couple days with me back over here. Vinny V, my technical advisor, congratulations to you. Big props for moving on from the EE. And believe me, life is better once you cross over that line. You'll be all right. Definitely will. And I appreciate you. Ray Guru, always musical director, engineer. He's the man. Dante Guru, I'm so proud of you, Dante Guru. My son, he's a backup co-host to the co-host to the co-host. He's engaged now, and I appreciate you. Love you. Derek B is the co-host with the co-most. We appreciate you. He's coming back pretty soon. We thank you. Now, the motto of saying is this. This has been a Black Goat production for Black Goat Entertainment. Copyright 2021. All rights reserved. We don't steal from nobody. We give props and big props to everybody that we know and we use stuff from or whatever. We're freeway close and we're always on. Check us out on one of these social media posts or outlets, podcast outlets. We're there. Goaty, do you have any outro music for me today? Since time for the NCAA tournament, Goldie said that he will play Let's Dance. Let's Dance by David Bowie. Is that correct? Okay, y'all. This is the Guru Talkin Sports Podcast, episode 57, wrapping up. I am your host, the Guru of Sports, and I will see you next week with episode 58. And you never know what's going to happen because we don't know what's going to happen. We'll put something together and make sure that you guys enjoy it. Take care of yourself, and like I said, are you sure, Goldie? This is David Bowie, right? All right, he said it's David Bowie. Let's hear what it is. The Guru will talk to you real soon. Take care. We will see you next week. Later. David Bowie. David Bowie. Say Bowie or Bowie? Bowie. David Bowie. All right? Guru. Just like I thought, Goldie. When I said let's dance, I didn't mean let's dance to the drummer's beat. But that's okay. Goldie, you are so stupid. Thank you. Alright, y'all. Dance to the drummer's beat by Herb Kelly and Life. We will talk to you soon. Later.